Today's daf is Masechtas Nazir Daf Chafei. So we are at the bottom, the last line, Chavdal and Beis, Zok the Heilig Gemara. The Mishnah said, Meis v'hayuloi moyestumim. The Nazir died and he had money that was set aside for his 3 karbanis. Yiplu no dava. So his moyestumim means it was not allocated the money towards any specific karbanis. It was just money that was generally put away for the bringing of his karbanis when he needs it. So the halacha is yipilun nedava, that if she's no longer Naziris, her baal was made for her Naziris, the halacha is she brings the oilos nedava with all this money. Zakti Gemara. It's fracting Gemara. The mei chatas, her money for chatas, is mixed into this money that was set aside for karbanos. So how could you bring it all for eilos and dava? L'chayra, money that you set aside for chatas, you can't bring it for an adava. Zakti Gemara, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, halacha hi ben Nazir. It's halacha, special halacha mashim sinai by Nazir. So Zakti Rabbi Yochanan, it's a special halacha mashim sinai by Nazir that ma'is stumim of Naziris, you could bring a oila even though it has ma'is chatas mixed into it. That's Rabbi Yochanan. Zakti Gemara, Shlakish Amar. Shlakish says a different pshat that you learn out from the pasuk. It says ish vayikra perach beis pasuk yudches ish v'beis Yisrael menager b'Yisrael sheyakrav karbanim l'chol nedarim l'chol nedvaisam asher yakriv l'Hashem la'oila. So we learn out from this pasuk hatoira amra moisa neder yehel nedava, that the leftover money that's left over from a neder, and you can't bring it towards that neder, then we learn out that you should bring it for eilos nedava, and mois naziris is moiser neder, that's considered leftover a neder because kabal naziris is a neder. Zakti Gemara, fracting Gemara, Bishlam Rabbi Yochanan Amar Alachi ben Nazir. Bishlam Rabbi Yochanan says that the reason why, even though it has the mechatas mixed in there, technically you can bring files and davas because Allah Chamashav seen it by Nazir. Sa'amtu lahachi sedumin in mefarashan lois. So maybe we understand why dafka mois stumin, but it's mefarashan if he said clearly that he wants money, specific money to be for chatas and other money to be for oil and shlom and so on, then in that case, if it's moist for us, we don't have halacha mishpasina. The whole halacha mishpasina is only said by stumin. But for the Gemara or Shlakish that says we learn out from the pasuk l'chol and revchol and dvoisa, and then the moist and neder goes to nedava, and therefore we learn out that all the moist goes to nedava. For the Gemara, ma'ir is stumin. Why dafka moist stumin goes to nedava? L'chayra afilim mefarashin. Even if you specified, you said in which money you want for which karbanis, even if he specified he wants to be certain money for chatas, it's still going to nedava because it's still moisar neder. Because lamaisa, if the nazir died, then it's considered leftover money from a neder. So that even mois mefarash and lechayr should be able to bring oilos nedava. Zakti Gemara, Amar Rava. So Rava answered, mefarashin loy matas amrid. You can't say that the din of mois and neder should go on davar. Why? Because for Pascha, Tana de Rishmo was already nifsak the din in the brisa that Tana de Rishmo said, and this that it says in the pasuk, the Varam Perak Yud Beis pasuk Chavav. It says Rak Kodeshecha Asher Yulucha Undarecha Tiso Vasal Amakom Asher Yivchar Hashem. So this pasuk is not talking about Oila Shlamim, because Oila Shlamim says clearly by Yikra Parak Vav. So you have to say that it's talking about Vladei Kachim Tmuras and Kasab Davar. Rather, this pasuk Rak Hadeshecha is talking about a Vlad of Kachim and the Tmura of Kachim. That the pasuk's telling you that a Vlad Kachim or its Tmura Tiso Vasal Amakom Yivchar Hashem. That is same din as regular kachim, and you have to bring it to the Beis Hamikdash. So Zakta Braysa Vaiter continues on the Braysa. Yachal Yam Beis Abchira Yimne Mayim Mazim Shloshim Musu. I might think that you should bring them up to Beis Abchira and hold back from their mind and mother in order that they should die. And you don't have to be makar of them. Maybe you don't have to be makar of them. And you could just be mekayim. Instead, it says in the pasuk, "Tisov asal hamakom." So you have to bring them to the Beis Hamikdash. But who says you have to be makar of it? Talmud loymar, and that is up the pasuk. Vasisa ilasecha abasav adam. The pasuk's telling you loymalacha kederach shatanoyu ba'ola nahoy b'torasa. Just as you would be noy with a regular korban oila, you should do the same thing with its tmura and be makar of it. Kederach shatanoyu b'shlamim, also nahoy b'vladeim with a vlad shlamim. You should do the same thing. Treat it as a regular shlam. So Zok the Brayse Vayter, Yochel, I might think you should learn that from the pasuk that Af Lad Chatas Tmuras Asham came. Maybe of Lad Chatas and Tmuras Asham should have the same halacha. That you should have to be makar of them for regular Chatas. And Tamura of a Behemoth Asham also should be nikrav as a regular Asham. Talmud Loimar Rak says Rak Kadeshecha Shilachon Derecha. The word Rak has come to be mayit that only a oilo and a shlamim has such halacha, but not a chatas and a asham. Divrei Rebbe Shmuel. Those are the words of Rebbe Shmuel. That's Rebbe Shmuel holds. Rebbe Kiva Omer Netzarech says you don't have to learn out from Rak that you're not makar of a tmuras asham or a chatas. Why? Because Rebbe Omer it says the pasuk Vayikra Zayin Parak Zayin pasuk Hey Asham Hu. It says Asham Hu tells you Bahavyasa Yehei. To tell you the word Hu that it says next to Asham is telling you that only this behemoth itself is makar of Asham, but not its tamura. So, Kitzer, what do you see from this brayso? Silent to B'Shmuel, silent to Bakiva, Moiser Behema Chatas, or Asham for that matter, is Mesa. Well, Asham's Laria, I think. But you see how upon a Moiser Behema Chatas is Mesa. So, Huadon Lechera, Moiser Mois Chatas, is also, you get rid of it, you put in Yamamelach. So, therefore, that answers that the Gemara just had before on Rosh Lakish. What was the Gemara's kasha on Rosh Lakish? The Chayr, according to Rosh Lakish, learns out Moisar, Neder, goes to Nadava, so even Moisar Chatas, you should learn how goes to Nadava. Like, no, no. Because Sari B'Shmuel, Sari B'Kiva hold that a Moisar, what's left over from a Chatas goes towards, you have to get rid of it. They have this Machlekes or B'Shmuel or B'Kiva in the Braysa, but like at that point that a Moiser Chatas, that everybody agrees, so therefore Shlakish cannot learn out from his pasuk that he brought before that L'chol Rei L'chol Nevois on that Moiser Neder Dava about that it would not apply for a Chatas. It's not shaykh to say that. Zok the Gemara Vayter Katani. We learned in the Braysa that we just brought here that Vladas and Tmuras of the Shlamim you bring into the Beis Hamikdash. So the Braysa said Yachal Yalon Beis Hamikdash Yinei Mayim Amazayin. How do you know you should be makar of it? Maybe just bring it up to there and let them die. So it says that you should treat it as a regular shlamim and it's more so. Also, that you learn out that you have to treat it as regular carbons. Reflecting more on why do you need to learn out? Why do you have to have a limit from a pasuk that you have to be a makar of it? Havlad chatas hu d'gemir b'misa. That means we said that you have a specific pasuk that tells you of Vlad, Tmuras, Shlamim, Oila, and Shlamim and Oila, you can't let it die. You have to be a makar of it. So, for Gemara, what do you mean? Havlad chatas hu d'gemir b'misa. The only time we have Allah Chamash Messina tells you that Vlad chatas goes to misa, or that Allah Chamesh anything goes to Misa is only by there's 5 chatayis, and one of them is a Vlad Chatas and Tmuras Chatas. But like I have Vladis, a Tmuras of Shlamim, we don't have Allah Chamesh. So why should you think that it would go to Misa without a pasuk? So like, why do you need a pasuk to come and ma'ir it? So Zok Gemara, Lav Krav, there wasn't a pasuk specifically telling you Vasisa L'Secha to tell you that you makar of Vladis and Tmuras Shlamim and Oila. Then Hava Amina, I might think that the Allah Chamesh said by Chatas is not. And I might think that the halacha of the Moshe Sinai tells that we have that tells you that chatos are mesos. It's only coming to tell you that vlad chatos b'chol makom. It's coming to tell you that you're allowed to kill it. You're allowed to have it die anywhere, and it doesn't have to be dafka in the Beis Hamikdash. However, of vlad kachim Beis Habechira, but vlad is towards shlamim and ayla. where it's not said halacha mishsinai. So I might think dafka it's allowed to die. It has to die by the Beis Hamikdash. So that's what the pasuk is saying. Tisa v'asalamakon. But kamash on the Lord, the pasuk v'sisay l'secha, it's telling you that no, you have to be makriv v'ladas and tours of shlomim, v'ladas and tours of shlomim and oila, and you can't let them go to misa at all. But without the pasuk v'sisay l'secha, I would say, you know what? Sai chatas and sai tours of shlomim, you're allowed to let them die. The difference between them is the halacha mishmusina is telling you that a chatas you're allowed to let it die anywhere. However, by other shlamim, the specific halacha, you might think that because it says tisa v'asal hamakom, so you're allowed to let it die, but not anywhere. It has to be specifically in the makom hamidrash. Zakti Gemara Vayter Katani. Brisa we had said before that Yachol, when the Brisa said that we have a pasuk that tells you that you have to be makar v'ladas t'muras Hashem ma'ila. So the Brisa said Yachol aflad chatas t'muras Hashem kain. I might think of vlad chatas t'muras Hashem has the same halacha. Zok the Brisa Talmud loyma rak pasuk rak kadeshecha shilchan derecha tell us be maya dafka ila shlom has such halacha, but v'ladas t'muras of chatas go to misa and Hashem zariya. Affecting Gemara lamali kra. Why didn't you have a pasuk l'chayr hilchzak gemirlo? We have a halacha mishmesina of lad chatas lemisa azol. So why didn't you have a pasuk rak? It's being mayit chatas and asham. So the Gemara hachinami. You're right that takas learn al machol mishmesina, but you crawl la asham da asa. The pasuk is taken not coming for chatas. It's only coming to tell you gabi asham tumuras asham. Because on tumuras asham you don't have a halacha mishmesina. It's only in chatas. So it's telling you tumuras asham is Liria. That's what the pasuk's coming to tell you. Rak. So frekti Gemara, Asham nami hilchse gemira. L'chayra by Asham you also have a lacha of Sinai. Why? Because we have a concept of kol she'ilu b'chatas mesa b'Asham raya. We know that any time you have a scenario where a chatas halacha is it gets misa by Asham, or you just let it pasture until it gets a mum, and then you sell it and you bring oilus and davar with the money. So you would know that what the halacha would be also by Asham. So why didn't they have a pasuk of rak? Because Gemara ella ime hochasa without the midah of the pasuk. If you just learn out that a vlad tmuras chatas is not kar, you don't bring it as a carbon as only as halacha mishum then have a midah hochasa. So you might think it's halacha mishum sinai taka this halacha, but v'yakriv lo lechayev alev leklum. However, if b'di'evet he was over in his makar v'hem l'shem chatas la asham, you should not be chayev on the carbon anything. Kamash malon kra, kamash malon the pasuk, the makar v'lei kam alei essay. That no, if you makar of them, you're over in an isser essay because it says rak hadeshecha. It's coming to tell you that you're over in an isser essay if you makar of the chatas and the asham that you're not supposed to. And only a vlad of tumuras oila shlamim you're allowed to be makriv, but not of a lot of tmuras chatas asham. Zok Gemara Vayter, and a little more on the Brisa here. That the Brisa said, Rebbe Kiva argues or Shmuel learned that from Rak Kadeshecha that the tmuras chatas asham is not karev, and he said, Rebbe Kiva Oimer ain't it tzarach. You don't have to learn from Rak because I read Oimer asham hu. And for the word who we learn out b'havyosa yehei that you only makar v'la asham and not its temura. So frekti Gemara lamali kra. Why does the king need to have a pasuk that moiser asham is not karev? L'chayr Gemara gemirin la. We learn out from halacha mishum sinai. The kol shabchat is meisa b'asham raya. So why does he need to have a specific pasuk on asham? L'chayra you have that concept. So Gemara hachanami. You're right. The etzem din yitaka no from halacha mishum sinai. So Gemara hachanami. The chiyasa kra, the only pasuk you need it for is the Rav. Really, the pasuk you only need is for the din of Rav. What's Rav's halacha? The Amar Avunam Rav Asham shenikta kuriya Asham that the halacha is. So Rav says that a Asham shenikta kuriya and yishachtu l'shem oila, and so a Asham that had a din that, let's say a Asham that got lost, and then the Bailam got a kapar with a different carbon, right? So that first Asham, halacha is supposed to give it over to a raya, to a guy that deals with animals, that he should take care of it until a mum It gets a mum, and then you use that money, you sell it, and you bring oil and davar. So what happens? The shachat l'shem oilav, before it got a mum, you shechted l'shem oilav. The halach is zok Rav that because it was bound to fall for oilah anyway, the money. So the halach is that it's kosher. So zok the Gemara, time of the nitik. The reason why shachat l'shem oilah is because it was a nitik. It was already given over to a raya to start that whole process. But halay nitik. Let's say you did not give it over to the raya yet, and the owner still has it, and he shechted it. So then you don't say it's kasha loyla. So that's where Rabbi Akiva comes in with the limit of Asham Hu Zak the Gemara. The Amakra, Asham Hu, Pasuk says Hu Bav Yasa Yehei. That it's mashma that a carbon Asham should stay a Asham and it should not be Karv La'oila until it's Nidik Liria. So that's what Rabbi Akiva learns like Gemara with the Pasuk Hu is to tell you that it has a din of Asham until it's given over to Haraya, and if you shachati l'shem oila, then it's pasul. Because Asham Hu tells you it's blibes Asham until it's Nimsal Haraya.